Hey athletes, Coach Jules here. I'm here to talk about the direction for the next training phase for the HomeCon Plus program. Now, before we talk about the details of that, let's do a quick reflection first of where we came from, what we did in the last 3 weeks. So, we focused a lot on three foundational strength exercises, namely the back squat, the push press, and the deadlift. We did a lot of progressions for each of those movements, building up in volume, tempo, so on and so forth. I will keep those progressive elements intact with this next training phase. Second, the skill highlight for the past 3 weeks has been the overhead squat. So hopefully we've been able to develop range of motion and we've gotten more comfortable doing that movement. Third, we did a lot of for quality conditioning pieces and of course have a good balance of higher intensity conditioning pieces as well. Now coming back to the priorities for this upcoming training phase. So this training phase will span for the next 4 weeks and we have two main objectives. The first one will be developing competency in our primary strength movements, which we'll focus on. So what we're going to focus on for this phase will be the front squat, the push jerk, and the sumo deadlift. So we like to have at least a squatting movement, a hinging movement, a pressing movement intact within the program. Don't worry, the pulling motions will come in via accessory work. But the gist is we like to touch on all bases just to make sure we're a completely balanced program. Now, in order to actually achieve that objective, we've set out and we've actually recognized that some athletes have various levels of equipment accessibility, some do not have access to heavier weights, or some are just kind of confined with one type of weight. Now, what we're going to do as programmers and coaches is we'll provide you guys the blueprint on how to apply the proper progression based on your given situation. A great example is we'll provide frameworks for a load progression, volume progression, a tempo progression, a density progression. We can also do a lot of hybrid ones depending on your level as an athlete. So you will see this as we progress to the HomeCon Plus program. Objective number 2 is going to be developing and enhancing the skill of dumbbell and barbell cycling. So what does that mean? What does dumbbell and barbell cycling mean? All it means is being efficient with that movement in terms of seamlessly connecting each rep and making sure that it's probably as effortless as possible. So what does that entail? We're going to talk about proper breathing mechanics. We're going to talk about footwork. We're going to practice the switch of the hand in the dumbbell snatch, for example. We're also going to touch on various catch positions. Let's say we're doing a power snatch. You can catch 1 inch above parallel to 2 inches above parallel, so on and so forth. We can talk a lot about that skill so it carries over into your conditioning pieces. So you will be doing that skill in a block session where we're going to focus a lot of quality movement as opposed to being pressured within a metcon. So that's how we develop that skill. Now let's talk about how the training week will be structured. We have 6 training days within the given week. Let's talk about the strength and skill segments first. Our primary strength days will be on Tuesday and Friday. So that's where you see the progressions for the front squat, the push jerk, and then the sumo deadlift. Now, for the main skill highlight, which is going to be the barbell and dumbbell cycling, we will insert that on Tuesday, right after the strength segment. Now, talking about conditioning pieces, we will still have a lot of that every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday during the class times. We'll have a classic CrossFit Metcon where the intensities will be a lot higher. Most of it will be for time. So hopefully you guys can join the classes there to get that extra push and of course extra fun out of the program as well. For Tuesday and Friday, on the conditioning aspect, it's going to be more for quality. So think about more of high skill level movements. We're going to focus on slowing it down a bit and focusing on technique of moving properly and not really overly pushing, but we're going to focus on proper execution. Thursday is going to be like an active rest day, which is going to be more a free-for-all type of format. So what we're going to do for Thursday is we can practice, we're going to have a skill refresher. We're also going to have active mobility segments and additional accessory work. So those 3 things will be packed as one option. And then the second option will be more of a recovery cyclical piece, which can be just long, easy, row, run, or elliptical, whatever you have access to. So we'll give you guys kind of freedom there to choose which one you want to go for, whether it be a skill refresher if you want to kind of look back on our previous skills that we've taught and do some additional accessory there, or if you just want to get like a nice recovery row run in to help you guys out, you can do that as well. Okay, so in terms of day priority or workout priority, I know a lot of us don't really work out every single day. Some may do 6 days a week, 5 days a week, or 4 days a week. But it would be important to prioritize certain days within the week so we know that we're progressing properly. So in terms of priority, I would actually recommend focusing a lot on the Tuesday and Friday just because they contain our primary strength progressions for this training phase. So make sure you do that. I also recommend that you probably get one of those class days in where we do the classic CrossFit Metcon. And then Thursday can be your rest day, or if you feel like you need to move, you can always do that active rest day option. But again, I'll leave it up to you. But if to boil things down to prioritizing 2 days, you want to make sure you prioritize that strength progression first, which is Tuesday and Friday. So that's going to be the intent for the next 4 weeks for HomeCon Plus. So I hope you guys enjoy this training cycle. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask any of your coaches. And I wish you happy training.